Greetings and welcome. Thank you for joining me once again for another episode of our Let's Play Bjarnrik. Quick recap, as always, before we get into the gameplay. We left off last session after just absolutely demolishing Lorent in our first war against them and setting up for our next war against Gawed. We've got our three vassals that we released, Westmoors, Great March, and Eagle Crest, and we did end up getting one of their cores back that Lorent took from Gawed in their war, and we had go ahead and return it to us. But as you can see, they've still got a few more right into the heart of Gawed and Vertesk, actually, so we'll probably end up going to war with them later. Not right away, but sometime in the future. You can see they only have a couple of allies, and we're not really worried about them. They are in a trade league. Not a big deal. Meanwhile, Westmoors has all these claims, and Great March, of course, has all of these claims. So this should be a very, very quick, easy, decisive war against Gawed. They did end up picking up a couple of friends. That's kind of humorous, but no one that we should be worried about. This should be pretty dang easy. Meanwhile, down in Escann, if we take a look at the religious map mode, look at that. It is red. This is the Coronite invasion. They are doing quite a bit of converting here. Quite a few. You see even our vassals converted to Coronite when we... actually, upon release, they came out as Coronite. Pretty impressive. We are still Skaldhyrric. I'm not planning on changing that anytime soon. We are still benefiting from our... there we go. From our Tail 5. Saga of the Golden Forest there, 20 and 20 production and tax modifier. Very, very nice. You can see we're making way too much money to know what to do with it. But what we will be doing with it here is improving our military. You can see we're up to 328 maximum. This is absolutely bonkers. You can see we're number one great power. Lorent was the number 2 great power when we went to war with them, and you remember how easy that was. We just kept our armies together and we just steamrolled them. As far as idea groups, you can see we did fill out all 3 of them. Of course, we finished out quantity last episode. We got both colonial expansion and colonial garrisons for our 2 policies. We can also take hired adventurers, but I don't want to grab that right now. No reason to pay 1 military power a month for this. 10% move speed. Now, move speed is very, very good. It just, we don't need it right now. So I'm thinking for the next one, because you can see we're at 12, 13. At 14, we'll get our next idea group. And I'm kind of thinking maybe we could double down. We could go with influence ideas. And that's because in our national ideas, for being Bjarnriki ideas, we've been benefiting from the Crown of Bara. And you see that income from vassals and the vassal force limit contribution. And we have a few vassals. That is for sure. And very interesting, just so you know, you do benefit, as far as I'm aware, I could be mistaken, but your colonies benefit from your vassal force limit contribution. That's part of the reason why, being Crown Colony, they already give us 30%, but then the land force limit modifier from our Bjarnriki ideas, the vassal force limit modifier, increases that even further, 100% increase. That's why you can see there, Amberstrond is giving us almost 10. Absolutely insane. If we wanted to, we could even further increase this. We could go to our colonies here. We could go down to modify, and we could increase the draft from the colonies. That removes 5 of their force limit, which reduces their overall contribution. Remember, they give us 30% of their force limit, but it gives a flat plus 5. And when that plus 5 is being modified by 100% increase, you can see that gets pretty crazy pretty quickly. And I haven't done so, but if I was to do that, I think our Amberstrond contribution would be somewhere around 15. Even with the losing and then the 5 multiplied. You know, it's just, you can get that vassal force limit contribution if we scroll down to it. You see we're at plus 100%. If you get this to 200, 300%, your vassals, it's the vassal swarm is the fact that they give you such a high amount of force limit. So anyways, plans for the session. I think obviously we're set up for a Gawed war. You can see that's going to be over in 1548. We're at 1545. So we're looking at 3 years, almost to the day. But meanwhile, after we annexed Bone Carver, we have been touching Bloodgorger and Severed Ear, and both of these are still monstrous nations. You can see we could go for just a simple core, but I'm thinking we'll do an anti-monstrous conquest, because that's going to be that 50% reduced aggressive expansion, and I think we're just going to go ahead and rip a few territories out of there. And since these guys have pretty much everyone just does not care about aggressive expansion anymore, except for, you know, a couple minor nations we're not worried about. But we should be able to rip a nice chunk out of them, feed it to Covenblad. I'm thinking probably all these territories here on their eastern side, right in between us. We'll feed that to Covenblad, get them a little bit bigger before we start annexing them as well. And remember, they still have their cores, one on Severed Ear and one on Newshire. So maybe we'll have to do that as well. They'd be calling the Count's League. Ooh, there we go. Which is a nothing. They've got less total troops than what we have in our armies right now, each one. So, anyways, I think that's going to be the plan, is we're going to expand a little bit in Escann. We're going to go into Gawed, and then as soon as our truce is up with Lorent, we're going to go ahead and use all of our vassals that we released, and we're going to go for their cores as well. So we'll be able to rip all of the southern coast, as well as all of their northern territories up here. We should be able to very easily secure this even further and completely block them off from going to war with Gawed again. So without any further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and get right into it, and let's see where this session takes us. So we're going to go ahead and declare war against Severed Ear, and like I said, we could do a reconquest, but we're just going to do an anti-monstrous. I don't think we'll co-belligerate. That's just going to make things a little bit more awkward. I'm not worried about the troops. I don't want to have to deal with this. Look at that. They're right in the middle of the forest. So we're just going to keep it easy. It's going to be Dead Fang and Severed Ear, anti-monstrous. Here we go. And they just had a very bad day. 20,000 soldiers immediately stack wiped. Another Joy of the Huntsman. We didn't get that stack wipe. We'll have to chase him for that. But another Joy of the Huntsman. As always, time for a hunt. Summon the Jarls. Let's see, where do they end up? Oh no! Oh, he's dead. Long live the Empress. And we got a new heir to the throne, Askell II, 421. Not the greatest, but definitely could be worse. Let's go ahead and finish these guys off really quick, and we'll celebrate her coronation by selecting a deity and going ahead and piecing out. You know, I think the tried and true, we're just going to go ahead and sing the Saga of the Treasure of the Golden Forest, Tale 5. As always, and we're just going to keep racking up this money and use it to finance our military and everything else. Askell is okay, but not the greatest. Let's go ahead and we'll host a great hunt since it's 50% off. This will be the first hunt of our new Empress. Anyway, peace deal. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go do Dead Fang, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to take all their money, and we're going to force them to steer trade. There we go. I like that. Easy enough. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then as soon as they get back, hunt commences. Of course, we'll do the pursuit. This is The first hunt of our Grand Empress Isgard. And I think we're just going to go ahead and show up her diplomatic skill. She is a 5/3/5. Stage for key allies to gain glory. There she is, a 5/4/5. Pretty dang good at the young age of 16. She does come with a scholar, so this is fantastic. We will be catching up on our Diplotech, and fairly shortly we should be taking Admin and Military 13. Not right away. I don't feel like spending 1,000 mana for it, but yeah, we will be getting there pretty soon. In the meantime, we're all black flagged here, so let's go ahead and we'll just come back to home base. And a peace deal with Severed Ear. I think, let me see, 52. 52 is not that bad. We'll just go ahead and wait till the end of the year, just to make sure that those last couple don't join. They did unconditionally surrender, but we can go a couple of months. Oh my goodness, it's another Joy of the Huntsman. The first one where Isgard actually sees it, so we're going to go ahead and summon the Jarls. Okay, we are right at the end of the year. You can see that 24th of True Frost. And we're going to go ahead and we're just going to full annex them. We're going to take all their money. Return cores, revoke cores, release nation. Yeah, we don't care about any of that. What we do care about is coalition, and it doesn't look like too much of anything we have to worry about. We are constantly gaining that coalition right here, but we've been doing that all game. These guys are never going to change. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and excuse me there. We're going to go ahead and take all of their territory. That'll return the one core back over to Covenblad. And then after we peace out, we're going to go ahead and give them these 3 territories as well. So we just have to core these 4. I think that's going to be a pretty good deal. There you go. Another war done. Easy enough. Okay, now we'll go over to our vassals. We will go to Covenblad and we will grant province. We're going to give them them. And them. And Westgate. Alright, we are close to capping out our military mana, so we're just going to go ahead and go in. And we're just going to spam these buttons a little bit. There we go. Orcish soldiers, not bad. Another small tolerance increase. And it would appear that we can now expand the Skaldhyrric Faith. The event canonization of new tales happens, costing us 50 of each administrative, diplomatic, and military power. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see what happens. Following the legacy of the first Skaldic Council, a new generation of Skaldic reformers now stands before the Konungur. Students and followers of Rudolfr, the man who became known as the Great Reciter of Saga, the only one to hold that now infamous title. But Rudolfr is now long dead, and the faith has expanded far beyond what he would have ever dreamed. And these Skalds who carry his legacy now appeal to the Konungur to make a choice like their ancestor did when they commanded Rudolfr to sing. As our realm has spread far and wide, new tales are being added to the story of our people, and the Skalds of the realm have begun to sing of the present, not just the past. A sign of Garudia's growing power, yes, but also a sign that the throne must step in once more to guide the Skalds. One of the reformers speaks up, presenting a scroll to the Konungur. Great Lord, I am Signy, and my fellow Skalds have chosen me to present our findings on the faith. The conungr takes the scroll and begins to read. These 4 tales are the ones we believe the crown should sponsor so that the people may learn from them. Firstly, the rediscovery of the making of Ebonfrost, the great metal of our ancestors. Second, the settling of Amberstrond all those years ago, and the legacy of the Garudians who still live in Alientir. Third, the tales of the reavers and adventurers who conquered Canorian realms, as you and your dynasty have done. And lastly, the tale of Olav and Ervik, the origin of our people, and the origin of our strength. Signy stood and bowed while the conungr read the composed songs. All of them are valuable to us today, but simply say the word, and we shall begin to sing one to the far reaches of Garudia, where your people shall listen. So it looks like we get to choose one of 4 new tales to add to the options that we gain under our Skaldhyrric Faith. Looks like we can do the Ebon Steel. That'll give negative 5% fire damage received and negative 10% shock damage received. Very, very nice. About Amberstrond, trade efficiency and settler chance 10%. That is pretty dang massive. I wish that we had this. I would have chosen that for sure. But, well, I can't say for sure. We haven't looked at the other 2 options. Lineage of Garudian Adventurers for +1 diplomatic reputation and negative 20% liberty desire from subjects development. That is pretty massive. And then about the first Garudians. Manpower recovery speed of 10% and fort defense of +15%. I must say that is definitely, out of these 4, the least attractive. Manpower recovery is okay, but compared to just straight damage received reduction, this is Ebon Steel is fantastic for military. Getting that trade efficiency and settler chance is just phenomenal. And then also going wide with your vassals with a bunch of diplomatic reputation and Lord Liberty desire, especially late game. As you could have someone, let's say that we somehow got personal union over Lorent or vassalized them or wherever have you, even as big as they are, 20% liberty desire reduction from their development is massive. It'll turn someone from 60% liberty desire and disloyal all the way down to 30%, because it's negating so much of that from their development there. So I think, man, this is a tough choice. God, that is good. I think we're going to go ahead and we'll do the diplomatic reputation. That's also going to help as far as aggressive expansion is concerned, but also it'll help keep, as we get more vassals, it'll help keep them in line. So I think that's what we'll go ahead and do. Wonderful. And I don't think that'll change it. Oh, it did change it. Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, I wasn't actually expecting that. I thought I would just add it to the option. But I guess there you go. All right. And I think maybe the next month tick over we'll see that refresh. Let's go ahead and do so. There we go. And yep, there it is. So if we get rid of this overextension, which we're working towards, we'll be all the way up to +3 diplomatic reputation. Wonderful. What a fantastic start to the reign of the young Empress Isgard. No co-belligerate, and look at that, they only have 100,000 total between all 4 nations, Gawed, BitBucket, Arboron, and Alenor. I think we're going to go ahead and go for aristocratic court, just for that +1 diplomatic reputation and the 15% improved relations. Easy stack wipe. And we'll just go ahead and finish sieging them down and piecing them out. Boom, 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 boom. We also have Elk March. That's one of our vassals. Holy smokes. So all of this territory for only 35 aggressive expansion. Whew! Absolutely phenomenal. This is a great peace deal. Of course, they're willing to accept it. We'll go ahead and we'll max out the money too. Although I imagine as we go forward, they're going to be making less money. It's just typically how it goes. We can demand less. So we're going to go ahead and see about piecing out their allies one at a time. We'll just take full reps. We'll say, go ahead and steer trade towards us. And, oh, we could pillage. I do like a good pillaging. A couple of people will be upset at us, but nothing too crazy. That is 14, though, and I'm not sure. We did have a couple of nations that were very close. Oh, I'm a sucker for a good pillage, though. We'll go ahead and we'll do that. Excellent. Arboron is out. Who else is in this war still? Just BPEC, and as always, BPEC is, they'll stay until the bitter end. I think we'll probably dev out the printing press, because otherwise it is going to take us a minute, and we do have a very good province here to do it in. You see we're at 24. I think what we'll do is as soon as we're out, we'll go ahead and improve this to a level 3, which will give us an additional dev cost reduction for the area, so I'll make that a little bit cheaper. And this will be coal in the future, so we're going to go ahead and we'll dev up the production quite a bit, and then we'll fill it in with military power, which will be very nice, because until coal spawns in, this grain province is going to be giving us a lot of manpower. Just clicked over to our policies and decisions, and I noticed a new option here. And Saga of Frost and Flame. I think there's a little bit of a typo there. Should be a saga. Not since the days of Caston Ebenfrost and Heinrich Divenscourge have the Garudians dominated the seas and faraway lands. But unlike that age, the Skaldhyrric Faith can be found recited across halls of Canor and beyond. Not only are Garudians gathered in Skaldskala for liturgical debate, but Skalds trained from the half-elves of Anbennar, orcs from Escann, and even Skraelings from Alenic. The ascension of the Skaldhyrric Faith is now truly deserving of an epic tale. So it looks like 100 provinces owned by you or your non-tributaries, Skaldhyrric Faith within these regions, and we have enough power. And I can't tell, of course, because it just goes off the screen. I guess these territories here, but I don't know if we have enough of them. But we only need 11 more within this area, basically, outside of, outside of Garudia. So this is going to give us Echoes of Victory, and I believe this is going to be another new saga. This is, I'm excited. If that's what this is, I am very excited. So we're going to go ahead and we'll, as soon as we get some of our vassals here annexed, you can see we're halfway done with Anbennar. We'll go ahead and convert all that, and hopefully that will push us over the limit. Man, I'm excited to find out what that's going to give us. And this fort finally fell after sieging it for a year. And we're just going to go ahead and move right on in. Let's see if they come. Yeah, if they come, they come. If they don't, we'll kill them anyways. It's fine. Oh, easy fight. There it is. And it's going to be an easy stack wipe. Boom. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and peace out with BPEC after that easy stack wipe. We'll say we'll just have them steer trade towards us. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of that. They don't want to. Are you kidding me? BPEC, you're dead. Yo, that's fine. That's fine. We don't need you to steer the trade. We'll just go ahead and do war reparations. And yeah, that's good enough. If there's maybe... No, that's going to cost us. I don't care for it. Maybe these guys, and we'll just cancel it with Gawed. There we go. Alright, so that's going to be the peace deal. We're going to go ahead and take their money, take war reps, and force them to break alliance with Gawed just because. Alright, and we will peace out with Gawed. We're going to go ahead and take all of our cores back. Whew, look at that. And as far as aggressive expansion, a couple guys, X-West and Kogadira, but everyone else is folks that are normally in the coalition against us anyways, so I'm not concerned. There we go. And look at that. Whew. We've almost secured all of the Alenic frontier, and we didn't actually finish our mission to get the claims over it. So I think what we'll have to do next is just go ahead and take it out the old-fashioned way. But I'm going to go ahead and cheese it. We're going to go ahead and set everything to vital interest. And that will make our vassals here, Great March and Westmoors, start fabricating on Gawed and setting claims for this area. So we'll go ahead and we'll use their claims and we'll expand into Gawed. Should be probably 2 more wars, I imagine. Let's see what their total war score is. Yep, 114. Although they'll probably lose some here. I imagine Vertesk will probably go into them again, and Lorent will probably try to pick up these last couple of territories. But other than that, very, very easy war as expected. Now that we're out of it, let's go ahead and go over here. We've got more than enough development. We'll go ahead and pay to make this a level 3. And as you can see, this gives all owned provinces in the area +1 building and negative 10% dev cost. So if we go back over here, this is back down to only being 28. We've got prosperity, we've got the edict, we've got that. We'll go ahead and we'll expand infrastructure. Boom, down to 21. So let's go ahead and we'll just dev this out really quick. And I do want to use as much Diplo as I can because this will end up as coal, and I don't have a whole lot of Diplo spare right now, so we'll just go ahead and use all that up. Not too shabby. And we'll just fill this out with admin and military here. One more time. There it is. And now that we look at our capital, we're getting 5.5 a month. This is wonderful. And if we look here, spreading all around the capital area, very, very nice. By the time it comes in, we should have plenty of money to go and purchase it, but we'll just let it spread a little bit further. And if we can get all of the valley here to have it embraced before we embrace it, or present, excuse me, if we can have all of the Dollar Valley have it present before we accept it, that should save us a couple thousand. There it is, and a new colonial nation. Looks like Australia. Wonderful. We could go against Vertesk, but oh, looks like Vertesk joined the Empire. That is highly unfortunate. I'm not looking forward to doing that, but okay. Yeah, so that changes things a little bit. I was thinking we could go for the 1 core that we have, but maybe... You know what? There we go. We'll gain a little bit of aggressive expansion. I don't mind. Cool. There it is. And then we'll just go ahead and we'll go over to our vassal of Eagle Crest, and we will grant them their core province right there. Wonderful. Okay, we just got an Orcish Minister event. We could go ahead and give 50% chance of either a Morale of Armies or Discipline Advisor, 50% cheaper. Very, very nice. Although we still have 50% off Land Force Limit Advisor, and he's getting up there. He's 48, but I think I'll hold on for a little bit longer. More importantly, we could do a moderate tolerance increase, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because it's been so hard. We've been relying on these random events to generate acceptance, and let's see if we're finally coexisting. We are. Wonderful. We're that much closer to integrating. And as you can see, there's a Orcish majority all throughout our stated lands right here. We need to hopefully start getting some half-orc events as well. I do want to get the half-orc up because it'll naturally increase as we've got those human and... whoop, there we go. Human and Orcish populations. We will keep getting these half-orcs spawning in just like what we did over here. They got rid of our orcs actually and just gave us half-orcs instead. So hopefully we get some more half-orc and orc events and we can keep integrating them into our society. And we do have enough diplomatic power as well as a slot, so we'll go ahead and we'll promote White Reachmen since they do have 15%, almost 200 development. It is White Reachmen. Very nice. And since we've got plenty of money coming in, let's go ahead and we'll start upgrading all of the great citadels there. And more half-orcs, as you can see. Coolio. It is going to remove the Orcish. Oh, looks like it's keeping it. Oh, wonderful. Excellent. Okay, I was afraid it was going to go ahead and remove it entirely. But it looks like it just downgraded to a minority from the majority. But as you can see, we are getting that spread of the half-orcs. So hopefully they spread far and wide and we'll be able to adopt them into our military. Ooh, looks like Gawed is getting attacked again. Defender against Frutesk again. That is what I thought was going to happen. We'll go ahead and we'll give out some mill access to these guys. If anything else, it'll improve their opinion of us and less likely that they'll join a coalition. Although there's a couple of these guys that just don't care. Oh, wonderful. Our young Empress just keeps getting better and better. First she was a scholar, but now she's also an inspiring leader. Quite nice. Okay, I went down just a little bit more, about 100 crowns saved. These are gaining a lot slower than I was hoping they would. We'll just go ahead and we'll embrace it, not a big deal. And that'll let us get caught up on our military and our admin technology. And as you can see, the next one is going to be pretty big. That's going to be our idea group, as well as plantations. Military, see, we'll go up a combat with. Infantry fire 0.3, very, very good. New cavalry, we've phased out of cavalry at this point. We've just got so many small army stacks, we'll just smush them. But we will go up to a bastion for that fort level 4. Not too shabby. We also are able to upgrade our cannons now. And we'll go ahead and go with the large cast iron for those fire pips. And we are no longer able to rival Lorent. The empire of Bjarnrik, with all of her vassals, is indisputably the world's greatest superpower. You can see 2100, even if Lorent had adopted or embraced the printing press, We're almost 700 development above them. Absolutely domineering. And of course we're only going to go further from here because we have all of our vassals here, and our truce with Lorent is only up 1 year from today, actually. So in 1 year we're going to go into war with them. Let's go ahead and start moving our armies over and positioning them just so that way we're ready. Gray Mill will be the easiest. It's one of the first ones on our path down. Yep, there it is, a little fort right there. So we are now at war. Go ahead and move our main army over, and we'll just start sieging them down. Par for the course, as usual. Now that we've got a couple more sieges done on their forts over here, hopefully we'll be able to start leveraging our main army here and catching off some more of their stacks. And you know, every little army that we're able to catch out and squish down a little bit, you can see they hired 30,000 more troops at least. I think they were actually at 70,000, but they hired a bunch of merc companies there, and we're just going to have to go in and squish them out. Excellent. Another fort gone. We'll start moving in deeper, and we'll press forward with our main army. Looks like we were able to catch them. We do want to move over to where we can reinforce this in case, yep, looks like they're going to. So we'll just set our guys to reinforce. We'll move over this way. Let's see, they got that reinforce off. Quality is still much better overall. We'll go ahead and move in. Should be here on the 30th. Let me see, one will be in on the 2nd. So we'll... Ooh. Looks like they're just moving in too quick. You know, that's okay. A little bit overstacked. Excellent. Not too shabby. We'll go ahead and bring our army over, and we'll see if we can't chase them. We can't get over to... Oh, they've got a fort right here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and siege down these forts really quick. That way we can actually chase them down and squish them after a big battle like that in the future. Ooh, and we do get to do a Saga of Frost and Flame. We got that conversion done. We are ready to do the Echoes of Victory. First, let's do the next age ability. I guess we'll just do the Merc Maintenance and Manpower. Not too shabby. And a reminder of our current Saga is +1 Diplo Rep, and they have 20% Liberty Desire. See, all of our vassals are super loyal. But let's go ahead and do it. A Saga of Frost and Flame. Look at that. Oh my goodness. +2? +2? Oh my goodness. We have some very good options here. Being able to improve a second Saga. Oh my goodness. It makes me wonder what that trade efficiency and global settlers would have been. If that would have improved to 20 each. Oh my goodness. Or the settler chance, excuse me. Wonderful options here. Taking a quick look over all of them there. You can see Tail 5 we already took, so that does not appear. %33% global tariffs is actually starting to look very appealing. And the 15% development cost. You know, there's very few religions in the game that give you 10%, much less 15% dev cost. You know, I think the Skaldhyrric Faith definitely has it's very strong. Being able to choose exactly what you want, especially if you were to go either a republic for being able to change your ruler every election, or States General, same thing. You only have a 4-year term limit. So being able to swap this out every 4 years for the saga that you really need, that just sounds absolutely fantastic. I think we'll go ahead and we'll just, we were going on theme, we'll just go ahead and keep it, Lineages of the Gawedian Adventurers, and we'll go ahead and prove that to +2 diplomatic reputation. Whew, there it is. Okay, so their capital is gone, but they still have all these forts here that just very, very annoying having to fight through. How many is this? Yeah, we got like 10 forts just right here alone, but that's okay. We will make it through it, and once we do, you see all their armies are just stuck down here, so we'll just go ahead and smush them all one at a time if that's what it takes. Alrighty, so their fort did just fall here. I think we'll push down. We'll try to catch them right over here. In order to ensure that, we'll go ahead and move in here. They're locked. We should be able to catch them there, and then we'll just go ahead and move down to reinforce. Alrighty, moving our troops in. Yeah, we did lose quite a few there, but that's, look at that war wizard. Whew! You know, it's hard to compete with that, but you know, we're doing it just by pure numbers here. If this fort was gone, we'd be able to actually chase them down over here. We'll go ahead, we'll still try. You never know. Okay, finally we're able to catch them. Very, very easy fight. Man, we did lose a whole bunch of troops. We were just losing troops. But, you know, that is the benefit of having a never-ending, bottomless source of manpower, is we can just take those fights, and they really cannot. They've gone up to 121 total regiments, but their total manpower is down to 42, and we are definitely just out attritioning them. Just waiting on the siege to fall. 64%. There it is. So we're going to go ahead and lead with these guys. That's fine. I want to use up some of our vassals there. You can see they're contributing a lot of just normal soldiers, and we'll at the same time move our other guys in. And we'll go ahead and, oh, looks like they back kept their capital. That's okay. We'll just reinforce this. Oh no, they were able to reinforce. Oh, never mind, that's ours. I didn't recognize that banner. Too funny. There we go. And we'll be able to catch them, and that should be an easy stack wipe. There it is. So we'll just move our entire army up and see about catching these guys really quick. Alright, we just got their capital once more, and I think with that we should be able to wrap around, squish these guys. Take a quick look at their military. You see we're down to 51,000 and 55k manpower. We've just slowly ground them down, whittled them away. If we look at the total losses, you can see we've lost almost twice as many. Now a good chunk of that, of course, look at that, 115,000. Who cares? 100,000 casualties from attrition. It is what it is. You know, 4 times what their attrition is, almost their entire, you know, half of what they've lost this entire battle, we've lost in attrition. You know, and it's losing it in battles, not a big deal. Not a big deal. We have such a high regeneration right now. No one else can compete with us. We'll just use our manpower, and like I said at the start, we're just using it to leverage against them, to bully them. So after taking a quick look, this is what I think we'll be doing for a peace deal. Of course, we're going to be returning all of the cores to our vassals, but we'll also take these 3 provinces, which will give us a little bit of aggressive expansion. Not much, though. You can see majority of that is actually because we added on these colonial territories, and so most of these folks don't actually care about that. The downside, this is a 100% peace deal, which means that we are going to have to be in this war for a little bit longer. We'll just have to finish taking out their forts. If we find any more of their armies, like this guy here, as soon as this fort's done, we'll go ahead and stack wipe them there. And then we might need to actually start sieging down Wex, which I am not looking forward to, but because we can't even get over there, right? So, I guess we can go in that way. I guess if that's what we gotta do, that's what we gotta do. But anyway, once we get 100% war score, the reason we're going to take these 3 is because from this province of Cow's Keep, we can release Appleton. And from here at Big Wheat, we can release Big Wheat itself. And then Middlewood allows us to release Tomsbridge. And each one of those has 3 more cores. So next time we're at war with Lorent, we can do a reclamation conquest again for 9 total provinces, and just keep whittling them away a little bit. After this war, our vassals should be super happy, and we'll be able to start annexing them. And yeah, I think that's going to be the game plan, but we're going to be stuck in this war for a little bit longer until they're willing to take the peace deal. You can see they're at -34. Part of that is length of war, but mostly it's just because we're demanding that 100%. So we'll take the fort, we'll take their armies, and then we'll end by taking all their land. Moderate tolerance increase of kobolds, don't mind if I do. Let's see what they're up to now. You can see they are coexisting. Excellent. And it looks like we took out all of their armies right there. You can see they have got 0 regiments built. They're down to -88. Let's go and see if they're willing to accept our peace. And they are. Very nice. We did just tick over to the end of the month, or the end of the year, which is unfortunate. It would have been nice to do it before, so that way West Ham and Vern wouldn't join, or Alenor. But we'll go ahead and we'll just peace out. Very nice. See a sizable increase there. And our vassals are pretty close. There you go. Elkmarch loves us. Soren Coast loves us. Crovania almost loves us. So I think what we're going to do is, if we go to our vassals, we are going to start integrating these bad boys. Okay, so Soren Coast would be willing to begin annexation right away. We'll go ahead and do that, as well as Elkmarch. And Elkmarch, we got all of their cores back, so I think we'll just go ahead and annex them. Much less. Well, I think that's where we're going to call it for the session. We were very successful in our goals, I would say. We pushed further into Escann a little bit with Severed Ear, did a full annex there. We got all of the cores returned to our Alenic vassals we released, Westmore's, Great March, and Eaglecrest. Very nice. And we should just need one more war now that Vertesk ate that big chunk out of Gawed right after. We should just need one more war, I think, to go ahead and finish full annexing all of Gawed. Very nice. And of course, we did just get out of our big war with Lorent. We got all the cores returned. We're staged to release our next vassals as soon as we get done annexing at least one of these guys. You can see we are already over our Diplo limit. So as soon as we get done annexing one of them, we can go ahead and release maybe Big Wheat or Tomsbridge there. So that way we're primed and ready to go for the next war with Lorent in a few years for another reconquest. Speaking of, look at that. Just absolutely decimated. We killed all their troops. We killed all their manpower. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see someone like Pearl's Edge. You can see they've got a couple of cores on Lorent, or maybe even West Ham with all their claims. You know, they can call in BPEC. BPEC's got all these claims. So we might be dealing with a significantly smaller Lorent. It just depends on how quick it takes for these countries to go ahead and go to war against Lorent. Because if they're able to capitalize on that, look, 31,000 troops from BPEC, they could blitz in, they could secure all the forts right here, all of their claims, and it's quite possible that they are going to be able to expand into Lorent before they recover. So who knows? We'll see what happens in the next few years. But as always, thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed everything this session. And as always, if you got any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. But until next time, thanks for joining me.